Well,
good morning, Soulbeat family.
If we go right now, I'm busted. I don't have my mic on. There we go. Okay.
Welcome to Computers and You.
Yeah, how you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay.
Okay. You gonna start off with?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Boy, I can't see that too well, but gosh, I want everybody to see little R2-D2 here.
Oh, I wish you hadn't told them what it was. We could have.
They know what that is. Everybody in the world saw Star Wars. Everybody.
No, they didn't. I didn't see Star Wars.
Well, see,
I don't like those kind of pictures.
You're weird. But everybody see R2-D2. This is made from a Lego kit. Okay. And this is the sort of thing that we're trying to get some of the kids interested in doing. This is not only a model, but it is a working model. Now, I just finished it early this morning. I finished it about 3:30 this morning, so I haven't put the batteries in, and it doesn't walk across the floor just yet.
Bring it back next week?
Next week it'll do its thing. And but this is what we want to get kids interested in doing, so that they learn something about robotics, and they learn something about mathematics, and they learn something about engineering and that sort of thing. And we can kind of perk their imaginations so that they learn to do what they don't learn in school, and that is how to think. Okay? Everything in school is done by rote. Mm-hmm. You add this way, and you read this way, and everything you do in school nowadays is done by what can you remember. Okay? And nothing is done by what do you think about this? Okay? So, one of the things that we want to do is help our kids learn how to think, so that we aren't all made into consumers by our educational system, because that's what they want. For you not to think too much, just buy. So what we're going to do, and I'll let Cheryl explain how we're going to work this, but this is basically what we're trying to do, and this is one of the things that the kids can do, and the parents obviously will have to help them. We're not planning to do this for you. You're going to have to help your child, and in that regard, you will find that you will be accomplishing much toward getting your kids to think on their own. Okay.
Okay. Well, we didn't get very much response last year for parents to assist their children or family participation in a science fair. So now we're going to be concentrating on getting kids to participate this year, and maybe by summer we'll have enough children that want to participate in the science fair that we can put something together.
All right.
We want to give out a lot of cash prizes and other prizes, mm-hmm. But we're going to have participation to do that. Okay.
Okay, let me get the housekeeping done here. Obviously, we come to you every week via the Appreciation Fund, and one of the ways that you can help Soulbeat and also keep this show and others on the air is to donate to Soulbeat, and you can do that by sending your contribution to Post Office Box 5156, Oakland, California, 94605. You can also bring contributions during the week. I would call first to make sure, well, anybody here can accept your contribution, but you might want to short-circuit everything by bringing it to 2544 73rd Avenue, and you'll call first, talk to Irma, and she will, of course, make sure that you are credited with having donated to Soulbeat. Okay.
What's Irma's telephone?
Irma's telephone number is area code 510-569-6927. Okay? All right.
Look at that thing, is just going wild over there.
Yeah, it is. That's because someone has dropped it too many times.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Actually, no. What's happening is somebody's got the button on.
It's pushed down.
Yeah, they've got it on set. Okay, and so it doesn't know what the heck to do. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, again, that's the reason we need contributions. We have, for instance, we have a very large clock, digital clock that Computers and You donated to Soulbeat, so that the hosts, okay, the people on this side of the camera can see what time it is, because it's as a matter of fact, it's critical that we know what time it is, so we know when to do different things.
India's gonna try to.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that. But anyway, these are the sorts of things. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's 12 minutes after the hour. 7. Okay, so these are the sorts of things that we need to get. And that's where your money goes. And I know my good buddy is going to call in and wonder why we need to donate to Soulbeat. Well, let me short-circuit that. And this is the reason we donate to Soulbeat, because we always need something like this. For instance, the monitor that we see, that we use to see what is going out on the air. Okay, this monitor has diagonal lines in it, so we know that this monitor is
on its way dead.
On its way out. Okay, so, and this is something that happens on a regular basis, because remember, this stuff runs 24 hours a day. Okay, so when we say that we want you to donate, we're not trying to make Mr. Johnson rich, okay? And we also know that Mr. Johnson, first of all, I know personally that he has not cashed a single check that he has gotten, okay, since I've been here. His salary,
since before
well, so we know it's, but I can only,
know it before.
Yeah, she knows before. I know personally that he has not cashed a single of his checks, payroll checks, since I've been here. And I've been here going on 4 years. So, you know, that's...
We lucky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't play that.
I wouldn't either. You know?
Not with my business. I don't play that.
Okay, so we're going to get into Computers and You here.
No, another announcement, the New Year's Eve party.
Okay, we got a New Year's Eve party. Oh, it's on mine too. I'm flabbergasted. My goodness. Okay. And it says Finest and Cheryl. Normally, see, normally it says Cheryl and Finest, you see?
No, it doesn't.
And
that announcement part doesn't have.
Okay, see, boy, I've got, and it's only one page, and mine has almost as much stuff as hers has. Almost. I can tell, though, mine is the copy. You see how I can tell? See, she gets the original, I get the copy. See, and it's got that you know, that smudge stuff all over it. See, I'm telling you, I get treated like a stepchild. Okay.
New Year's Eve.
Anyway,
party.
we've got a New Year's Eve party coming up. When's that going to be? That's going to be on New Year's Eve. How about that? Okay. And as we do every year, we see the new year in. We have a lot of fun. There's there's dancing, and there's food, and there's, of course, a little drink, and that sort of thing.
We have champagne.
And it's usually a pretty good. I shouldn't say usually. It's always a very good show. And it's normally broadcast, at least part of it is, and we have a great time. So anybody wanting to come to the New Year's Eve party, I really recommend it. And for the people that have Soulbeat membership cards, the price for a seat at a table, which obviously includes all the party favors and the drinks and all that stuff. The cost is $50. For those of you that do not have a Soulbeat card, the cost is $75. Okay? So it would
make
you.
It makes sense for you to go get the $10 card.
Right, you save 15 bucks. I mean, it just makes sense, but a lot of people, see, again, everybody doesn't think the way we do. But anyway, okay, so that seems to be all the stuff I need to do. And since I was asleep before we got here, I'm going to go to the corner and go back to sleep. Okay.
Okay, it takes a quantitative leap to bring about a qualitative transformation. Now you see how it applies to voting.
Yeah.
I hope everyone realizes.
Boy, if you think your vote didn't count, boy, I feel sorry for you. If you really believe your vote didn't count this trip, you got a graphic civics lesson on whose vote counted. Especially if you are a minority and live in Florida. Because you now know that they threw
the real deal, and they've been throwing
them out for years. Okay, they just got caught this year. Okay, and your vote counted so much, folks, that they knew your vote counted. You the only one didn't know your vote counted, and your vote would have counted a whole lot more had it been counted. So they got caught this trip. They threw yours out and got busted, and it wouldn't have never come to light because. Yes, because most of the time we don't really care because we don't do anything about it. But this time we had a Jewish vice presidential candidate, and some of the people whose votes got thrown out happened to be Jews. That's right. They don't believe in that, folks. They don't play that. Okay? They do not play that. All right? No. You throw my vote out, you got to tell me why. So they got caught this trip. So anyway, what can I say? Your vote counted. I really applaud you if you voted. If you didn't vote, you need to consider next time and for any subsequent time that there's an ability to go vote. Boy, all we have to do now is make sure they get them counted. Hey, once we get to that point, then everybody's vote counts. Okay? All right, we've got a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning. Lord. Get your finger ready here.
Good morning, Mary.
See.
Good morning, stepchild.
Good morning, Mary.
You were talking about the voting.
Yeah.
I hear they're having those little demonstrations outside the Supreme Court, which I adore. I love the election. I'm glad it went this way. And don't think they're not dumping here in California.
That's right. That's right.
They dump them everywhere.
Maybe even here in Oakland.
Right here in Oakland, they dump them everywhere.
In Florida. Oh, that wonderful state of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I have some relatives there. Yeah, a couple of crocodiles. But, just finding some of these ballot boxes in the swamp, in the hotel rooms.
Yep.
I mean,
in the police department. in a jail cell, no less. Okay?
And you know, where could you see this in a Hollywood script?
You couldn't do this. You couldn't.
Oh, it's going to be a movie.
Oh, it's going to be done.
It's going to be a movie.
But you couldn't have watched this and believed it. Okay? Now it's been done in real life, and you know they will make a movie of it.
And I'm also hoping that we will get our own party, because
it would be
I
nice.
think that's a good idea,
Yeah.
and I think not only our own party, to all the rest of the parties. I think you need to start now grooming who you want to run for your party in the next 4 years, because if Bush gets in there, we got to get him out. Either we're going to put Clinton back in there, or we're going to have to find somebody else for us, and that goes for all the other parties. You're going to have to go and choose your own candidates and push them.
We don't
let them choose you.
That's it.
We don't even need to push a candidate. I mean, we can, but we don't really need to. All we need to do is show what clout we have, okay? Because, again, we're 11, 12, 17 million of us here, okay? And the popular vote was won by, what, less than 3 million votes? Okay,
well,
so
both of them are pretty popular.
There you go. So well, it just shows you right there that mathematically, I don't care who you are. Okay, I mean, what's a group that's very small? Samoans.
Really?
I'm serious.
Right.
There are at least 3 million Samoans in this country.
That's right.
Okay. They have clout.
That's right.
Because if they hadn't voted, okay, if 3 million, I don't know how many have voted, but what I'm getting at is, if there's 3 million of them and they'd have withheld their votes, we'd have had a worse situation than we got now. All I'm getting at is,
everybody needs to participate.
Yeah, you need to participate, and once you do, you can scare the hell out of them.
And also, I'm going to make this New Year's resolution that I'm going to get online. Okay?
All right.
So you won't be bugging me.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, we'll see you later.
I'll be watching you later on.
You call me when you're ready to get online, Mary. And that way I can send out a mass email warning everybody else.
Watch out for Mary Bug.
Watch out for Mary Bug. Okay. All right.
Oh, a job announcement. UPS today from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. will have a mass walk-in interviews. It's the UPS airport. I believe that's Allen Shepherd Way. Is that the name of it?
No, it's where UPS is?
Yeah, it's over there where the plane or UPS planes are.
Where the planes are.
Yeah, because this is for the airport.
I think you're right. That's
They're going to be
Shepherd.
loading. They're going to be package handlers, loading and unloading and sorting the packages that UPS deliver in.
And they do this. They do this every year, and it can lead to a permanent
job.
Permanent job, folks.
They usually hire hundreds of people around this time of the year.
And I know personally that UPS promotes from within. They hire no upper-level people from outside.
You're promoted within.
You're promoted from within. So
that's
once
if you can hang.
All you have to do is get started, get your foot in the door,
that's right.
and you can eventually run that company. Okay?
A lot of promotional opportunities. So if you're interested, you need to get down there today between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the UPS airport office down there. You're probably going to see a number of people because they did advertise this one in the paper. And
they usually hire a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm saying they usually hire 100 at least around the Christmas holidays.
Right.
At least 100 people. Okay, for the past couple of weeks we've been talking about setting goals, and especially we as African Americans need to start setting goals not only within our personal lives, but how are we going to set goals to take back our community. So we can survive around here. And I brought visuals over the past couple of weeks. And we were giving away prizes. Did you bring the goal setting thing in?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's sitting over here. Right.
Okay.
Okay. That's a heavy little turkey. All right. This is a kind of... Allende, could you remove that graphic? There you go, just for a second.
The dynamics of goal setting. And you can get that if you tell us what does rumba mean? Your goals must rumba. And what does rumba mean?
Yeah.
R-U-M-B-A. What does the R stand for? What does the U stand for? What does the M stand for? What does the B stand for? And what does the A stand for?
Okay.
Also, we have a number of other prizes. We had someone last week get one right. They got the business CD. I forgot to mention last week that you're supposed to pick it up before we come by here this morning, but so you can still get yours. We have these available.
Yes.
But you have to get it by next week for certain. And we still have it available for anyone that answers any of the questions today. I believe that person won for Pure.
Pure, I think so.
So we're looking for Smart and Clear.
And rumba.
As well as last week we dealt with poips versus noips. Tell us what is a poip. Tell us what is a noip. And tell us what do you do to poip a noip. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. I got R2D2.
Okay, I promised that I'd bring some information about the rent arbitration board or what's going on. I said I had a copy of the resolution, and I do. This was given to me by someone. I can't remember who it is right off the bat. But anyway, on June 27th, 2000, the Oakland City Council created a resolution 75822. And I'll just read a little bit of that so you'll understand basically where it's coming from. And I'll read the top part. This is what it says. A resolution continuing the 3% allowable general rate of increase for July 1st, 2000 through June 30th, 2001, as established by the Residential Rent Arbitration Program, Oakland Municipal Code, Chapter 8.22. Now, I have that ordinance. That ordinance is, the ordinance number is 12273. And this is the revised, and this is effective June 30th. No, July 1st.
Excuse me, July 1st of this year through June 30th of next year.
2001.
Yeah. A whole bunch of whereases.
Yeah, it has a lot of whereases, and I'm just only going to cover the stuff that's important. And you need to get a copy of this so you'll know how the landlords are able to, sometimes legally they're able to get you out of their properties, but then there's some that are not going through all the channels and doing all the stuff that they're supposed to do because there are some laws. So what I'll do is I'll read the amended ordinance. Okay, an ordinance amending Chapter 8.22 of the Oakland Municipal Code Residential Rental Arbitration Program to provide for a 0% annual permissible rent increase following certain terminations of tenancies for additional noticing requirements for rent increases and certain terminations of tenancies, and to clarify the original intent in enacting certain provisions of Chapter 8.22. Now, basically what this is boiling down to, the city council is saying they realize that there is a problem in Oakland and that a lot of people are being evicted and we're having homeless situations, but they also amended this ordinance to be better for the people, really. They cut out a lot of stuff. They've X'd out a lot of stuff on here, but still, the landlord still has rights, okay? And they call it a covered rental unit. All rental units are not covered under this ordinance, and I'll get into that this week a little bit, as well as probably next week. I may have to cover some more because there's quite a lot here. I'll read the whereases that are really important. Whereas the council's Community and Economic Development Committee and the City Council have received comments and communications from organizations and individuals that document an increasing number of 30-day no-cause evictions of tenants by landlords, and whereas the City Council is concerned that tenants receive inadequate information on their rights under the rent ordinance when they commence their tenancies and when they receive notices of change in the terms of their tenancies, and whereas the City Council believes that providing additional notices and information to tenants will enhance their ability to enforce the protections provided by the rent ordinance. They get a little bit into their findings, and their findings was that there are a lot of things going on as far as the tenants, and this particular ordinance, or the revision of it, is supposed to help tenants, because there has been an increased number of the 30-day notices to quit without the landlord stating a cause for eviction, okay? There are a number of rules here. Not only that, okay, rental unit, or the covered rental unit, means any residential unit including joint living and work quarters and all housing services providing with such unit that is located in the city of Oakland and used or occupied by the payment of rent, provided however that the following dwelling units are not, wait a minute, this is where they call it, okay, deemed, are not covered rental units for purposes of this chapter. Now these are they have several sections here, and I'll read what they are.
Just a minute, we got a phone call.
We have a caller?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead,
probably
caller.
should, I hope they don't ask it. Don't ask any questions about this just yet, because it's a lot covered and you won't get the whole picture.
Yep.
Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Pierre. I left a message on your machine, but I guess you've been too busy.
What was the name again?
Pierre, the lady who won for Pierre.
Okay, yes.
The lady who?
Who won for Pure. Uh-huh.
Oh, for Pierre, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did leave a message, but I know I'm busy.
Did you indicate you were the winner on that message?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's probably one of the later ones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, I also have a number for the San Francisco tenants' rights, if you would like to add that to your list.
Yes. Let's have San Francisco. You got a pen there?
And you know,
Okay.
eBay.
I'm going to give out some other numbers today also. This is San Francisco. Okay, what's San Francisco?
415
Uh-huh.
252.
252?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
4600.
4600?
Yes.
Okay.
And did you hear they're doing auctions of apartments in San Francisco on the internet?
Auctions?
Auctions, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Lord.
Yeah, we're gonna...
That means that's
Yeah.
real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can go up to anything.
Sure.
And an example of inflation, 2 years ago my husband moved into a place in San Francisco that cost $600, which was phenomenal then. No kitchen, no bathroom. And now
Okay,
the
Chet, no.
same places are going for $1,500.
Yeah.
Whoa, they've worked gloves. You know how that goes.
Amazing.
Finest, I'm still down with DSL for 2 weeks. And I can't get around the way that they've rewired my house to get on any kind of any kind of dial-up.
No,
Do
you
you
can't.
have, wait a minute, do you have, I've heard other people say, do you have this, did they put this little box in your house or something?
Box on my house with an amazing variety of wires. And then they strung it through the house and stuck another box in the office. And the wire, I've got 6 different wires coming out of this thing.
Right. See, the reason you can't do much there is because the wires that are in your house can't have been modified, okay? And if they have been modified, then they have to re-modify them back to the way the phone company would have had them originally, okay? And so I can understand that, but why don't you do this? Right after the show, why don't you call back, all right, and I'll get some information from you before I leave here.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I'll stay here 5 minutes, all right, so that you can try to call. If not, if you don't catch me...
She called. I'm remembering
okay,
now.
Then,
we have her number.
Then do call. Well, if we've got your message, you left a phone number, right?
Correct.
Okay, then I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I
Okay?
remember her calling.
And we'll see what we
can
can come up with.
Thank you.
All right?
Okay.
Okay, the following dwelling units are not covered rental units for purposes of this chapter. Number 1, dwelling units whose rents are controlled or regulated by any government unit, agency, or authority. Number...
Just a moment. I'm going to...
I will repeat that. These other units are not covered rental units for purposes of this chapter. Okay? Number 1, dwelling units whose rents are controlled or regulated by any government unit, agency, or authority. Number 2, housing accommodations in a hospital, convent, monastery, extended care facility, convalescent home, nonprofit home for the aged, or dormitory owned and operated by an educational institution. Number 3, accommodations in motels, hotels, inns, tourist houses, rooming houses, and boarding houses, providing that such accommodations are not occupied by the same tenant for 30 days or more continuously, okay, continuous days. Number 4, dwelling units in a nonprofit cooperative, owned, occupied, and controlled by a majority of the residents. Number 5, buildings containing rental units which were newly constructed and received a certificate of occupancy on or after January 1st, 1983. Number 6, substantially rehabilitated buildings on which owners have spent a minimum of 50% of the average basic cost for new construction as determined by the chief building inspector. Okay, I wanted you to hear that. They have some definitions here. A tenant means a person entitled by written or oral agreement to the use or occupancy of any covered rental unit. Okay? Now, it further goes into the rent increase guidelines. I'm skipping over a lot of it. You should get a copy of this yourself. This is the basic guidelines, which they have revised. They've crossed out quite a few things, but I'm going to read what they have left. Rent increase guidelines. A, annual permissible rent increase for occupied units. This chapter applies to any covered rental unit in the city beginning May 6, 1980, except as provided in section 8.22.060B and C. And I'll be talking about those in a moment. No landlord may increase rents for occupied covered rental units in excess of the annual permissible rent increase set by the City Council. The City Council may review the rate annual permissible rent increase every 12 months. Okay, now this is the B and C. Setting rents on vacant covered rental units, except as provided in Section 8.22.060C4, which I'll be reading that in a moment. An initial occupancy of a covered rental unit by a tenant where the immediate prior tenant vacated the covered rental unit after the landlord initiated the termination of the tenancy by use of a notice given pursuit of California Civil Code 1946. The annual permissible rent increase is 0% for the new tenant or any other new tenant for the 24 months following the vacancy by the immediate prior tenant. Okay? I want you to think about that, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll talk to you when we get back. Now, don't you go nowhere.